David, in the last 4 games, you being in the starting lineup, how's your game? How have you seen your game develop?
Just kind of it's a little different coming off the bench. We're energy guys coming off the bench. So now we have to start with that energy in the starting lineup. So I think that's the biggest change. And just my game progresses just being more comfortable on the floor. So just being around these guys and trusting them as they do trust me. So it's getting better.
Do you feel like more is required of you as a starter than it was being an energy guy off the bench?
Yeah, we have to start the energy as soon as possible, as soon as the tip. So nothing else has changed much. It's just that beginning stage. It's just that where we need energy.
Especially the first couple minutes, it seemed like you were making a really concerted effort to get to the paint. Was that sort of the game plan to get inside early? They're a team that forces jump shots a lot.
Yeah. Just coaches have always been telling me to crash the glass, and we have the nation leading rebounder in the country. So in Nico, so I just kind of have to scrape off of him, and so it helps a lot.
You were making a difference right from the opening tip. I think you scored 9 of the team's first 11 points. Do you think kind of the confidence you gained in these last 3 starts kind of helped you going in?
Yeah, I believe so. Just getting comfortable again in the starting lineup. It definitely helped, and then also just the atmosphere of the border war definitely helped. So kudos to the fans.
Isaiah, we saw you operate out of the pick and roll a couple of times. Do you feel like that's something that you guys can kind of take advantage of, especially with how good of passers Nico and David, some of these big guys are?
For sure. We feel like that's one of the best ways to kind of give myself an advantage on the defense, knowing that I like to create not only for myself but for other people as well and get them shots. And so just being able to play with an advantage in numbers kind of helps open everything up for myself, and I like being in those situations.
You started every game as a true freshman. You understand what he's gone through, these last 4 games, joining the starting lineup as a true freshman?
Yeah, it's definitely different than coming off the bench, I'm sure, because everyone's looking at you to start the game off on the right foot, and then everyone else could kind of come off of that, so it's a little bit more responsibility in that regard, but he's transitioned fine. That's my guy right there. He's playing well.
In that role, do you kind of have to forget you're a true freshman and you're just a college basketball player?
Yeah, basketball player first and foremost. We don't get looking into ages that much. If you can play, then go out there and play.
For both of you guys, obviously you talk about that and have confidence in your games, but does it take a little bit of, seeing results to kind of get affirmation of it's a different level, but we can still play our game?
Yeah, I think so. Just coming off, you still have that inner confidence, and it kind of gets boosted. You dream of playing Division I basketball, your whole life. So now you're here, and you kind of say do I belong here? And so everybody belongs on the court on this team. So just having that affirmation definitely helps.
Yeah, to piggyback off of that, just everyone wants to do when you have a little bit of success, you start realizing that you could do this for the long haul. And so we just got to keep continuing to build off of our early success that we've been having and stay humble, stay grounded, and continue to keep pushing.
Obviously, as a high school player, you were bigger, stronger than most guys that you played against. Have you found that there hasn't been that big of a difference at this level?
There has been a difference, especially with just some certain people. I still can use my strength to get where I want, but it's a lot more difficult than it is in high school. And also, I just have to use it in a different way. I can't really just bulldoze everybody because they're setting charges now. So just have to be careful with that and just be mindful of who I am and where I am on the court.
Did it take you a while to get cognizant of that and get comfortable being able to do those same type of things?
Yeah, it took a few games, definitely, but now, I'm just comfortable with it now, so hopefully it becomes second nature. All good.
Hey, whenever you play any conference game, but especially Wyoming, it's going to be tough. I think they play extremely hard. Our guys found a way. I thought we stayed aggressive offensively. I thought obviously David Roddy really got us going on the offensive glass and really exerted his will on the game, which was great to see. And even though we didn't shoot the ball very well from the perimeter, we found a way to keep attacking. And, they played a lot more zone in the second half than they're typically playing. I think that was, because we were really hurting them in the interior. But our guys did enough here to win. And so great to get back on track. Proud of their effort.
You're going to get Adam back back pretty soon, but are you gonna have a decision to make in terms of your starting lineup the way David's played the last 4 games?
No. So, I mean, we made that, and that's not, I get it. It's important to players. It's still more about, your rotation, who finishes. But, we really, put David into the starting lineup for that game at Tulsa. And obviously that's kind of the way that will go. When Adam comes back, Adam will be back in the starting lineup that way. But that's okay. I mean, other guys stepped up here today. I thought when Nico got in foul trouble, Deshaun came in there and, even though he didn't score, he gave us some good minutes. He rebounded a little bit, and John Tanji played a little bit more here today, and that's what we got to have. And this team just got to keep getting better.
Do you think these 4 games will help David when he goes back to the bench and he's coming back off the bench? Will change his game?
David's not going on the bench. I'm saying Adam started for Chris against Tulsa, so I think that's what we'll do. As you can see, I mean, David's can continue to grow, but we've been a better team when he's out on the court in these games, and so. But hey, great team effort here tonight. A lot of guys stepped up, and it's always great to get a win. We needed to get a win today, and we found a way to do it.
David kind of, as he progresses here, kind of learning that a lot of that physicality that worked previously can still work here.
Yeah, I mean, that's never been an issue with him. Sometimes it can be a little over-exuberance, right? But he'd much rather have it that way. He's an aggressive kid. I think we're still learning as a team some of the time and score situations, right? And, sometimes, you want to go for an offensive rebound, but when David's in foul trouble, he's got 3 late in the game, he can't. Sometimes you got to let those ones go. He can't go and commit that 4th foul, and those are things he's still learning. Where we want him to play with physicality, but sometimes you got to be smarter. Or hey, they're going to sit on you. You don't lower your shoulder and that. But I mean, man, the kid just made plays, and you want him to hustle and try to go get every basketball. That's the way you want. And again, Nico got in foul trouble early, and I thought when he came back in the second half, I thought he did a good job of exerting his will on the game too. And we're kind of maybe reinventing ourselves a little bit, and we haven't shot the ball great, but we're a team that we're trying to pound the ball in the interior a little bit, and I thought we had success doing that.
Are you happy your team stuck with that? Because Wyoming was going to pack it in. A lot of teams will just say, all right, we'll just take the outside shot. Your team stayed dug.
I think so. I mean, and that's what we have to do. That's what we have to be. And we have to shoot the ball better. I mean, there's no question. I mean, we're going to have to shoot the ball better from the perimeter, and I believe that we can because I thought where we really opened up the game in the first half was when Kendall knocked down some threes, right? So, I mean, if we have the ability to shoot the ball, too, with the interior play, that's when I think we can take our offensive game to the next level, and we got to take better care of the ball. I mean, we just have to, it's something we really focused on, but again, I was disappointed with a lot of the sloppy turnovers here today, and again, that's just something we have to clean up.
It seems like you guys had a lot of success with pick and roll, especially with Isaiah running things. Is that one of your guys' strong suits at this point in the season, and would you maybe like to run it a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. And we ran Isaiah off quite a bit of screening action here today, too. I thought that was effective. But, as you look at our team and the guys are coming together, I mean, clearly, even though they're freshmen, Isaiah and David get a lot of action for us, and so I think that will continue, where they'll have the ball in their hands a lot. And, Kendall's been a consistent guy, and Nico's still a go-to guy, and Adam's another guy when he comes back, too. But I think that it's playing off of those guys that gets everybody shots, and that's when we're at our best. But yeah, Kendall. I mean, Isaiah's really learning as time goes on to operate a pick and roll better, to make better decisions. And I like him to think score first. I think every great guard, you got to think score first, and then when they bring the help, you make the right plays. But as you can see, he's got just great savvy and instincts that way, and I'm excited about his future. Yeah, I mean, he absolutely, like, Chris has been great, and we talked, if people remember that the Tulsa game, Chris, we put David in the starting lineup for Chris, and Chris handled that great. I told him that's what we were going to do, and Chris got it, and yeah, I mean, he's been all in as a team guy, and Chris is working hard. He's kept a great attitude, and I got to believe he took a lot of good shots tonight. He's been making them in practice, and I got to believe it's just going to take like one game, for him to get it going. And he's a huge piece of what we're doing, and he comes off the bench and can bring some versatility on both ends of the floor.
Maybe kind of a dumb question here, but you talk about
no question's dumb, Kevin. Yeah,
yeah. You talk about the shooting though, and Chris and some other guys that you know, you watch them, and I'm sure your practice stats probably say they're better shooters than their game stats. What do you do to break that?
I think you just keep working. You know, you just keep taking game shots. You just keep working, and sometimes it can be a contagious thing. You know, it's a guys, and I think as we continue to go back, you know, we'll look at shot selection, and as long as they're taking good shots, you know, that we want, they just got to keep shooting, and they got to shoot them with confidence. And again, I think that they will. And sometimes it's just like that floodgate, you know, needs to open up that way, and it'll help us getting Adam back, like you said, a little bit. But we got other guys who I know can make shots, and really, if you look at the numbers, I think Kendall Moore shot it pretty well from three this year, you know, overall. So I think he's really worked hard at it. Isaiah Stevens is a terrific three-point shooter, and I believe, you know, Chris can too. John Tanji can make shots. We just got to stay with it.
Speaking of Isaiah and Kendall, they kind of sparked you toward the end of the first half. Each of them hit a couple threes. After Wyoming was keeping it close, and you guys kind of carried that over to the second half. Just how important was that run to kind of close out?
Yeah, I thought it was huge. I mean, I thought we ended the half well, and I think that's a huge key. You know, you want to start well. A lot of times, you know, in games, teams kind of feel each other out a little bit. You know, a team might, and then all of a sudden, I think ending halves is a huge deal, and I think how you start the second half is a huge deal. Today we did a really good job, I thought, of ending the half. We knocked down some shots. We were able to kind of take control of the game, and even though they made some runs, we really never looked back, I thought, from that point. And not the other thing, I mean, Hunter Maldonado is a terrific player. You know, you look at the stats to him, but I thought, you know, for the most part, we did a solid job. And I think he made those 3 threes in the last minute, you know, and a half, but I thought we did a pretty good job of bringing help to him. I thought we forced him into some tough situations, and, you know, he turned the ball over probably more than he would characteristically, but I thought for the most part we made him work. Thanks, guys.